Hello, welcome back to my Truman show. My name is Andrea. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. As we are talking about racism in this country, I felt it was important to kind of recap everything and go back to where it all started because the very first boyfriend I ever had, it was when I was 18. I was so focused on playing sports. Um, I was into music. I was an athlete. I didn't care about boys and or dating, and I actually recommend more girls to focus more on themselves and the things that they like before you start dating boys, because let's talk about that. When I first met him, what everybody would say is love bombing. That's kind of what he did. He pretended to be something he wasn't, when in reality, he was a narcissist who's also a psychopath and a pathological liar. But I was 18 and he was 23, which that should have been the first red flag. But it wasn't, and I didn't know any better. And I'll take that and I'll own that. And as we got to know each other, he locked it down into a relationship. And over the next 2 years, he proceeded to cheat on me with someone that he said was his friend, who he had to hop on a flight to cheat with. And sometimes I don't know. I don't know for a fact that she was out here, but I do feel like sometimes she came out here. But regardless, she's not important, and neither is he. But when we talk about white people who swear everybody else is below them and beneath them, I think it's important for me to start my story here because this man did nothing but emotionally abuse me, verbally abuse me. But I'm not that person who takes disrespect from anybody. So to my face, he was very nice, especially once he realized that I wasn't like the other females who he could talk crazy to and put his hands on. But behind my back, he talked horribly about me. He would always be like, I'm a whore, and that I wasn't shit without him. And he would say the nastiest things about me to his friends, to my friends, all while he was cheating, because deflection and every accusation is an admission of guilt. And that's really what he was. But a narcissist never apologizes. So I finally broke things off with him when I was like 20. I broke up with him. One of his friends told me the truth about everything that had been going on for the 2 years that I confronted him about, and he just looked me in the eye and lied and said that none of it was true. But we were together all the time. I hung out with his friends all the time. And one of his best friends finally told me the truth. And then another one of his really good friends told me the truth as well. Because they were like, what do you even see in him? And that's crazy when your guy that you're dating's friends ask you what you see in their friend because he's a loser, which he was. And he's also a coward. So he didn't treat me terribly to my face, but he did it all behind my back, and he would lie about it and triangulate me with his ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend. I really don't know because, again, that was like 20 years ago, and it's not important to me. They're not important to me, but it is important to this story. And so when I broke up with him when I was 20, he spent almost the next year stalking and harassing me. He would text me incessantly, call me incessantly, and when I didn't pick up, he would just pop up at my house and where I lived. And he even packed up his stuff and moved back to Phoenix to continue to stalk and harass me, where it ramped up once he moved back here. And then he came over to where I lived. Like if I didn't answer the phone, didn't call him back, didn't text him back, he would just pop up. And the first time I ever had a man physically assault me was that day. And so to that basketball organization, if you're planning on using any of his stories or lies as part of your defamation of my character, I do hope you know that that's the type of person that you're supporting or letting lie to you. So I got back together with him, and I'll finish that story in the next episode.